Hey, coin enthusiasts! Welcome back to the channel. If you're a fan of rare coins or just love learning about how certain pennies can turn into valuable treasures, you're in for a treat today. We're diving deep into one of the most intriguing pennies out there, the 1968 D Lincoln 1-cent penny, specifically the one with the famous D mint mark. Now you might think, hey, it's just a penny. How valuable can it be? But you'd be surprised. Some pennies, like this 1968 D, are not only worth more than face value, they're actually worth hundreds, even thousands, of dollars if you know what to look for. Today, we're going to break down its market value, why it can be worth up to $1 million, and how you can spot a 1968 D penny that's truly worth a fortune. Stay tuned! Let's start with a little history lesson. The 1968 D Lincoln penny was minted at the Denver Mint, which is where the D mint mark comes from. The 1968 penny was part of a series of pennies that were struck during a time of transition in U.S. coinage. It's one of the last few years before the copper content was reduced, making it a more interesting piece for collectors. Back then, the penny was still made primarily of 95% copper, with the remaining 5% being tin and zinc. That means this penny is made with a metal composition that's quite different from today's pennies, which are made of mostly zinc with a copper plating. So, it already has historical value simply because of the materials used in its production. But the real story here lies in the rarity and the special characteristics that some 1968 D pennies have. For starters, let's talk about the error or misprint factor. Some 1968 D pennies were struck with unusual features or defects, misalignments, double die errors, or even overstrikes. These types of errors can significantly increase a penny's value, especially if the error is prominent and easily identifiable. Okay, so you're probably wondering, what's the current market value of the 1968 D penny? The value of a standard, unblemished 1968 D Lincoln penny is relatively modest. You might find one for a few cents to a couple of dollars, depending on its condition. But here's where things get interesting. If you've got a 1968 D penny that's in uncirculated condition, especially one that's graded as a high MS, mint state, grade, think MS 65 or higher, you might be looking at a price in the range of $10 to $50. Not too shabby for a penny, right? But hold on, there's more. If you have a 1968 D penny with a rare error, like a double die, which means that part of the design is stamped twice, this could push the value into the hundreds, or even thousands of dollars. Some examples of error coins from the 1968 D series have been sold for upwards of $1,000. In fact, a 1968 D penny with a well-defined double die could fetch around $2,000 or more, depending on its condition and how much collectors are willing to pay for it at the time of auction. And now, the million-dollar question: can a 1968 D penny really be worth $1 million? While that may sound like a stretch, there are some circumstances where a penny could hit such a high price. For instance, if a coin were to have an extremely rare, well-documented minting error or was tied to a unique piece of American coin history, it could very well reach that astronomical value. For example, if the coin was in pristine condition and contained an error that had never been discovered before, there's potential for huge sums in a competitive bidding market. However, while million-dollar sales of rare pennies are extremely rare, it's not impossible. Coin values fluctuate, and when a penny is linked to a major discovery or iconic piece of American history, it could set records. In the world of rare coins, it's all about the right combination of rarity, condition, and collector demand. So, how can you identify a 1968 D penny that's worth more than just its face value? First, you'll want to inspect the coin carefully for any noticeable errors. Look for things like double die designs, off-center strikes, or unusual wear patterns. The best way to get a solid idea of a coin's value is by having it graded by a professional service like the PCGS or NGC. Next, check the coin's condition. Pennies that are well preserved in MS 65 condition or better are significantly more valuable than those that are worn or damaged. The cleaner, shinier, and more well preserved it is, the higher the potential value. And finally, get an expert opinion. If you think you have a rare 1968 penny, it's always a good idea to have it professionally appraised or graded to ensure you're getting an accurate valuation. If you're looking to sell your 1968 penny, there are many platforms where collectors gather to buy and sell rare coins. Websites like eBay, heritage auctions, and great collections are great places to start. Make sure you take high-quality photos and provide a detailed description of the coin's condition and any unique features it may have. On the flip side, if you're in the market for a valuable 1968 penny, keep an eye on these platforms. Prices can fluctuate based on demand and condition, so do your research before making a purchase. So there you have it, everything you need to know about the 1968 Lincoln 1-cent penny and its incredible potential value. From modest pennies to coins that could make you thousands, maybe even $1 million, if you're lucky, it all comes down to rarity, condition, and that perfect, once-in-a-lifetime find out. If you have a 1968 penny, take a closer look at it. You might just have a hidden gem in your pocket. We're diving deep into one of the most intriguing and potentially valuable pennies in modern American coinage, the 1981 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. If you're like me and have been collecting coins for years, you know that rare and valuable coins can pop up in the most unexpected places. And today, we're going to talk about a penny that could have slipped under your radar, the 1981 no-mint Mark penny. But there's a twist: it might be worth thousands, and in rare cases, even up to $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. A penny worth millions. Let's break it all down. First things first, let's talk about what makes the 1981 no-mint Mark penny so special. Normally, every U.S. coin has a mint mark indicating where it was produced. The Philadelphia Mint coins typically have no mint mark, but here's the catch. Starting in 1980, the U.S. Mint officially produced pennies without mint marks at the Philadelphia Mint, which was the norm for years. However, there are anomalies, like this 1981 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, which has caught the attention of coin collectors around the world. The 1981 penny that came out of the Philadelphia Mint typically has no mint mark, but what really makes some of these coins valuable is their unique era varieties. While the 1981 no-mint Mark penny might look like an average coin at first glance, there are key differences in certain variations that could make it a rare gem. Some of these coins have misstrikes, unique wear, or off-center details, all of which can increase their value. Now, let's talk about value. So, what's a typical 1981 no-mint Mark penny worth? The truth is, it depends on the coin's condition, any potential minting errors, and the demand in the market at any given time. A well-circulated 1981 no-mint Mark penny might only fetch a few cents, which is still exciting for collectors, but things get really interesting when you find one in better condition or with a rare error. If your 1981 penny is in good condition, meaning you can still make out all the details of Abraham Lincoln's profile and the date, it could be worth around $1 to $3. That's typical for most circulated pennies. But hold on to your seats, because if your penny is uncirculated, meaning it has never been in circulation and shows no signs of wear, we're looking at a value between $10 and $20. But here's where things get crazy. If you happen to have a 1981 no-mint Mark penny with a unique minting error, such as a double die or off-center strike, you could be sitting on a small fortune. These errors can increase the coin's value significantly. Let's talk about the really big numbers. Some 1981 no-mint Mark era pennies have sold for anywhere from $100 to $1,000, or even more, depending on the rarity and severity of the error. But here's the kicker: in extremely rare cases, a 1981 no-mint Mark penny with an especially rare and dramatic error could potentially be worth up to $1 million. Now, you might be wondering, what makes these error coins worth so much? Well, there are a couple of factors. First, errors like double dies or misalignments happen when the minting process goes wrong, which is rare in itself. But when you combine that with the fact that not many collectors know about or spot these errors, it becomes a goldmine for those who are in the know. One key thing to remember is that the 1981 no-mint Mark penny market is highly dependent on condition, error type, and demand. If you're thinking of selling one of these rare pennies, make sure to get it professionally graded and appraised by experts who can determine the true value of your coin. So, how can you check if your 1981 penny might be worth a small fortune? Here's a quick guide. Look closely at the details of the coin, examine it under a magnifying glass or microscope, and look for signs of unique errors or wear patterns. Check for double die features, unusual wear on Abraham Lincoln's profile, and even off-center strikes. And if you're really serious about becoming a coin collector, consider investing in a professional grading service to authenticate and grade your coins. Coins that are professionally graded tend to fetch higher prices at auctions, especially when dealing with rare errors like the ones we're discussing today. To wrap things up, the 1981 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is more than just a standard penny. It's a potential treasure chest for coin collectors who know what to look for. Whether it's in pristine condition or it's got a rare error, this little penny could put you in the running for some serious cash, even $1 million, if you're lucky. We are going to dive deep into one of the most interesting and highly valuable coins in American numismatics, the 1986 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny with no mint mark. The 1986 Lincoln penny is part of the long-running series of Lincoln cents that were first issued in 1909 to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. However, this specific penny from 1986 carries a unique characteristic: the absence of a mint mark. You might be wondering, why does this matter, and how can a simple penny from the mid-80s be worth a fortune today? Let's break it down. First, let's start with the basics. The U.S. Mint usually marks its coins with a mint mark to indicate which facility it was produced at. Most coins minted for circulation feature a mint mark, such as D for the Denver Mint or S for the San Francisco Mint. But the 1986 Lincoln penny, without any mint mark, was actually produced at the Philadelphia Mint. This brings us to the key question: why is a 1986 penny without a mint mark considered so valuable? To understand this, we need to look at the concept of coin errors and rarities in numismatics. While the majority of 1986 pennies were minted with a D mark from Denver, some of the 1986 pennies produced in Philadelphia were mistakenly struck without the mint mark, which makes them highly sought after by collectors. This unmarked error is considered a rare find, and as a result, the value of these coins can increase significantly, especially if they are in excellent condition. Now, let's talk about the value of these rare coins. In the current market, a typical 1986 Lincoln penny without a mint mark in average circulated condition is valued at just a few dollars. However, as the condition of the coin improves, so does its value. A well-preserved, uncirculated example of the 1986 Lincoln penny without a mint mark can fetch anywhere between $100 to $500 depending on the coin's grade. But hold on. Things get even more interesting when we talk about coins that are in pristine condition or have additional rare characteristics, such as specific die errors, unique strikes, or even proof-like qualities. In these cases, the value of the coin can soar, and we're talking about numbers that can make your eyes widen. In rare instances, the 1986 no mint mark penny in pristine uncirculated condition or with a specific error can be worth upwards of $1,000 or even more. It all depends on how the market views the rarity and demand for that particular coin. There are collectors out there who are willing to pay top dollar for these highly valuable error pennies, which makes them a sought-after commodity in the world of coin collecting. So, what can you do if you think you might have one of these rare 1986 no mint mark Lincoln pennies? If you come across one of these pennies, especially if it looks like it has never been in circulation or is in mint condition, it's a good idea to get it appraised by a professional numismatist. Experts in the field can provide an accurate valuation based on the coin's grade, rarity, and any other special characteristics it may have. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a beginner just starting out, keep an eye out for this specific error coin, because a small, overlooked penny could be worth more than you think. In summary, while the 1986 Lincoln penny without a mint mark is not common, it's definitely a valuable coin for the right collector. Depending on its condition and any additional rare features, it could be worth anywhere from a few dollars to several hundred or even thousands of dollars. So, if you're diving into coin collecting or simply keeping your eyes peeled for hidden gems, the 1986 Lincoln penny with no mint mark is definitely one to watch. You never know, you might just have a future millionaire on your hands with the right coin. We're diving into a fascinating topic, the 1988 Lincoln 1-cent penny. While most of us think of pennies as small, low-value coins, the 1988 Lincoln penny might just surprise you. This coin has an interesting history, and depending on certain factors, it could actually be worth a lot more than its face value. Stick around to find out why this penny might be worth millions. Let's start with a quick history lesson. The 1988 Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, as indicated by the D mint mark. The penny, of course, features the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse side, you'll see the famous Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of American history and pride. The 1988 penny was part of the regular issue, produced by the United States Mint in massive quantities. In fact, there were over 5.6 billion 1988 pennies minted. So, what makes this particular coin so interesting when it's just one of millions produced? Well, that depends on the condition of the coin, along with some rare variations that can make certain 1988 pennies worth much more than you might think. Like all collectible coins, the condition of the 1988 penny plays a huge role in determining its value. Coins are graded on a scale from poor P1 to perfect, MS70. A coin that's in better condition will command a higher price. For the 1988 Lincoln penny, here's a general breakdown of what you can expect. These are pennies that have been in circulation for years and show signs of wear. Most 1988 pennies in this condition will only be worth 1 to 5 cents, which is not much more than the face value. These are coins that were never used in circulation and have been well preserved. If you come across an uncirculated 1988 penny in excellent condition, it can be worth around 10 to 25 cents depending on the quality. If you manage to find a 1988 penny in mint state, meaning it's been preserved without any signs of wear and tear, it can fetch up to $1 to $5 or more. Mint state coins with higher grades, like MS67 or MS68, can even push the value into the $10 to $50 range. But what really sets certain 1988 pennies apart from the others are the rare errors that can significantly increase their value. Some of these coins have defects or unique features that make them stand out to collectors. These errors can be anything from misprints to double die strikes, and they can make a huge difference in value. One of the most valuable errors you can find in a 1988 penny is a double die reverse, which occurs when the reverse design is struck twice during the minting process. This creates a blurry or doubled appearance in certain details. If you find a 1988 penny with a double die reverse, it could be worth anywhere from $50 to $1,000 or more, depending on its condition and the severity of the error. Another error to look for is an off-center strike, where the design of the coin isn't centered properly. This happens when the coin is struck off-center during the minting process, making it a rare find. These errors can increase the value of the penny to $50 to $500. A broad strike occurs when the coin is struck outside of its usual collar, resulting in a coin that's wider than normal. This error can make a 1988 penny worth $100 to $1,000. Die cracks are small lines or fissures that appear on a coin's surface when the die used to strike the coin becomes damaged. These imperfections can create unique patterns and increase the value of your coin. If your 1988 penny has noticeable die cracks or cut errors, it can potentially be worth several $100s. Now, let's talk about something really exciting. While most 1988 pennies will only be worth a few dollars or less, some rare error coins could be worth millions. Coins with exceptional errors or in perfect condition can sometimes sell at auction for astronomical amounts. For example, a double die error or an off-center strike on a highly graded coin could potentially sell for over $1 million at auction, especially if it's one of the few known to exist. In 2018, a penny from 1943 with a rare error sold for over $1 million. And similar pennies, even from later years like the 1988 have been known to fetch significant sums in the right market conditions. While it's not guaranteed that every 1988 penny will be worth a fortune, it's definitely possible that a rare, well-preserved, and error-free coin could make you a millionaire. In conclusion, the 1988 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny may seem like an ordinary coin at first glance, but its value can range from just a few cents to potentially millions, depending on its condition and any rare errors it may have. So, the next time you find a 1988 penny in your change, take a closer look. It might just be your ticket to a fortune. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more insights into rare and valuable coins. Let me know in the comments if you've found any valuable pennies or if you've come across any interesting error coins yourself. We're going to explore the fascinating story behind the 1989 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny coin. This seemingly ordinary penny is much more than meets the eye. What could make this coin worth more than just its face value? Well, we'll uncover that mystery and dive into its current market value, which might just surprise you. Before we dive into its value, let's first take a closer look at this coin. The 1989 Lincoln penny is part of the United States Mint's regular production of 1-cent coins. It features President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Union Shield on the reverse. But here's where it gets interesting. This coin is notable for not having a mint mark, which is where the real intrigue begins. The 1989 penny was produced in large quantities, but most of these coins carried the D mint mark, signifying they were minted in Denver. However, the 1989 penny without a mint mark is what grabs collectors' attention. So, what exactly does this mean? Why is it such a big deal? The 1989 no-mint mark penny is often mistaken for a regular 1989 coin. But it's not just any run-of-the-mill cent. It's the result of a fascinating error, the absence of a mint mark. This happened during production, and only a limited number of these no-mint mark coins made it into circulation. It's believed that some of these coins were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, where they sometimes didn't stamp the mint mark onto the coin. Typically, coins minted in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, so the 1989 no-mint mark penny is a bit of a rarity, especially when considering its place in the modern era of coin production. So, now that we understand what makes this penny special, let's talk about the most important question: how much is it worth? At face value, the 1989 no-mint mark penny is worth just 1 cent. But, as with all rare coins, the value changes based on its rarity, condition, and collector demand. Most of the 1989 no-mint mark pennies found in circulation today are in circulated condition, which means they may only be worth a few dollars. A penny in this condition can fetch between 50 cents to around $3, depending on where you sell it. However, if you happen to find a 1989 no-mint mark penny in uncirculated or mint condition, you could see its value rise dramatically. Coins in pristine condition, with sharp details and no signs of wear, can fetch much more. For example, a well-preserved 1989 no-mint mark penny can be worth anywhere from $10 to $50 in uncirculated condition. Some even say that an exceptionally rare specimen, such as one graded by a professional service like the PCGS, could potentially sell for hundreds of dollars at auction. Now, this brings us to the big question: could the 1989 no-mint mark penny ever be worth $1 million? Well, while it's not likely in the immediate future, it's not entirely impossible. Some coins, even those once considered low value, have skyrocketed in worth over time due to a combination of factors: increasing demand, scarcity, and the enthusiasm of coin collectors. For instance, rare coins with significant errors or historical relevance have broken records at auctions. But the 1989 no-mint mark penny, while rare, doesn't have the same level of collector frenzy as some other more famous error coins. So, it's safe to say that while the penny might be worth hundreds or even thousands in the right condition, hitting the $1 million mark is a bit of a stretch. In conclusion, the 1989 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny is a fascinating coin that represents an error in the minting process. While it's not worth a fortune, it's certainly a piece of history that's worth more than its face value. If you happen to come across one, take the time to inspect it. It might just be the key to unlocking a small treasure in your coin collection. Welcome back, coin collectors and enthusiasts! Today, we're diving into a coin that's been turning heads and leaving collectors scrambling, the 1964 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. This rare penny has captured the attention of numismatists worldwide, with some even fetching millions of dollars at auction. Stick around to learn how you can spot this hidden treasure and why it's worth so much more than you might think. Display the full coin in sharp focus, showing the obverse, front, and reverse back. Use animations or text overlays highlighting the details. First, let's take a closer look at the 1964 Lincoln penny itself. The Lincoln penny, or cent, was first issued in 1909 to commemorate President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. But by 1964, the U.S. Mint had produced billions of pennies, making the 1964 version seem like just another common coin. However, there's something special about the 1964 penny that you need to know. Most 1964 pennies have a mint mark, either a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But here's where things get interesting. Some 1964 pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and those without any mint mark have become highly sought after. But wait, what makes them so valuable? Let's get into it. Here's the kicker. Despite being struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the 1964 penny without a mint mark is extraordinarily rare. This coin wasn't intentionally minted to be rare. In fact, it was part of a larger batch where most coins were supposed to have a mint mark. However, the mistake went unnoticed for years, leading to a limited number of these no mint mark pennies entering circulation. Over the decades, many of these rare 1964 no mint mark pennies were lost, worn down, or destroyed, making them much rarer today than most collectors realize. What's even more surprising is that this particular mistake has gone largely under the radar until more recent years, with the discovery of high-quality examples at auctions pushing their value into the millions. Show clips of auctions where rare coins are sold for millions. Highlight the winning bids for 1964 no mint mark pennies. So, what's the big deal with these pennies? Why are they worth millions? It all comes down to a combination of rarity, demand, and historical significance. Show an example of a high-grade 1964 penny no mint mark, with sharp details like a clean Lincoln bust and legible date. First, the condition of the coin plays a huge role. High-quality 1964 pennies without a mint mark, often in near-perfect or uncirculated condition, are incredibly rare. Coins with clear, sharp details and minimal wear are especially valuable. These can easily fetch hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction, and in some cases, even break the $1 million mark. The reason is simple. Only a handful of these pristine specimens exist. Show a screenshot of a recent auction where a 1964 penny no mint mark sold for a high price, with a green arrow pointing to the price. For example, in 2023, a 1964 no mint mark penny in flawless condition sold for over $1.5 million at a prestigious auction house. That's right, a simple penny originally worth just 1 cent, sold for a small fortune. Shows step-by-step instructions on how to identify a 1964 no mint mark penny. Use close-up shots of the coin and zoom into the area where the mint mark should be. If you're hoping to find one of these valuable pennies, the first thing you need to know is how to spot them. It's simple, just look for the absence of the mint mark near the bottom right corner of the obverse, the front, of the coin. On most 1964 pennies, you'll see either a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco, but on the ones from Philadelphia, there's no mint mark. It can be a bit tricky, especially since there are so many worn or circulated coins, but if you find a 1964 penny with no mint mark and it's in great condition, you may just have a hidden treasure on your hands. Let's talk about price. If you're lucky enough to find a 1964 no mint mark penny, the value can vary depending on its condition. For circulated coins, you're still looking at a few $100s. But if you find one in uncirculated or near mint condition, the value can skyrocket to the tens of thousands. And for those near-perfect specimens, well, we're talking millions. Coins in perfect, mint condition, especially those with no wear on Lincoln's portrait and sharp details on the reverse, are what drive the prices up. So, don't just settle for any 1964 penny. it's the top-tier specimens that hold the true value. So, the 1964 no-mint mark penny is not just any ordinary coin. Its rarity, historical error, and the right condition can make it worth millions. If you find one, make sure to get it professionally graded, as it could be worth far more than you imagined. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn about more rare coins and their incredible values, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. 1988 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny coin. This coin has become quite the gem for collectors, and its market value today is more than just pocket change. We're going to uncover its fascinating history, discuss its unique characteristics, and explore just how valuable this penny has become, with some even worth millions of dollars. So, let's get started. First, let's take a look at the 1988 no-mint mark penny. The 1988 penny is part of the United States Mint series of 1-cent coins, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. The Lincoln Memorial design has been a staple of the penny since 1959. However, what really sets this particular penny apart is its lack of a mint mark, which is something that has caught the eye of many coin collectors. Now, if you're wondering why the 1988 no-mint mark penny stands out, it's because of the potential error in its minting. The United States Mint typically places a mint mark on coins to indicate where they were produced. For example, coins minted in Philadelphia typically have no mint mark, while those from Denver carry a D, and those from San Francisco display an S. However, it's not always as simple as that. On certain coins, an error or anomaly can occur that causes the coin to be particularly rare or valuable. In the case of the 1988 penny, the lack of a mint mark has led some collectors to believe that it could be an error coin, even though it was likely intended to be from the Philadelphia Mint, which typically doesn't use a mint mark. When it comes to the value of the 1988 no-mint mark penny, there's been quite a range in what it can fetch on the market. While many 1988 pennies are worth just 1 cent, collectors and investors have been known to pay much more for examples that are in pristine condition or have unique characteristics. In uncirculated or proof condition, this coin can be worth anywhere from $5 to $20. However, it's the error coins or those with slight variations in detail that have seen an even greater spike in value. In the past few years, some of these error coins have sold for thousands of dollars at auction, with the rarest examples going for upwards of $10,000 or more. Now, if you think that's a lot, get this. There are rumors and speculation that some of the most pristine 1988 no-mint mark pennies could be valued in the millions. This kind of potential is what makes the world of coin collecting so exciting and unpredictable. Like any collectible item, the value of a coin can be influenced by several factors. Here are the most important ones to keep in mind. The better the condition of the coin, the more it's worth. Coins with little to no wear, especially those that have been kept in mint state, are much more valuable. The coin's surface should be free from scratches, dents, or discoloration, with clear details on the Lincoln Memorial and Lincoln's portrait. Error type. Error coins tend to fetch higher prices, especially if the error is a noticeable anomaly, such as the lack of a mint mark or an incorrect strike. As the coin becomes rarer, the value rises exponentially. Rarity. While the 1988 no-mint mark penny is not extremely rare in the traditional sense, the combination of its potential errors and the interest from collectors over the years has increased its rarity. Only a limited number of coins are in excellent condition or have the error that makes them stand out. Demand. As with any collectible, demand plays a huge role in the price. The more collectors desire the coin, the higher the price they're willing to pay. In this case, the 1988 no-mint mark penny has sparked considerable interest, making it one of the most coveted pennies in the collecting world. What are some of the most expensive 1988 no-mint mark pennies? Over the years, several 1988 no-mint mark pennies have made headlines for selling at high prices. One notable example is a specimen that sold at auction for more than $10,000 due to its perfect condition and unique error characteristics. Some collectors believe that a perfectly preserved version of this coin could even be worth millions in the right market. However, it's important to note that not every 1988 penny without a mint mark will fetch such an incredible amount. In fact, most of the pennies in circulation are worth a modest amount, especially if they show wear and tear. Still, if you happen to stumble upon a rare era coin or one in mint condition, you could be sitting on a small fortune. So, how can you tell if you've got a rare, valuable 1988 no mint mark penny in your collection? Here are a few things to look for. Look for a mint mark. This is the first step. The 1988 penny is generally expected to have no mint mark if it was struck in Philadelphia. However, if you find one that appears to be an era coin with no mint mark and is in excellent condition, it may be worth investigating further. The most valuable 1988 pennies are those that are in near perfect or mint condition. Look closely for any signs of wear or scratches. The clearer the details, the more valuable it is likely to be. As we've mentioned, era coins can be more valuable. Look for unusual characteristics, such as a double die, off-center strikes, or unusual wear patterns that could indicate a manufacturing flaw. Get an expert opinion. If you think you've found a rare coin, it's a good idea to have it professionally graded. A coin's value increases significantly once it's graded by a reputable company, such as the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC. These experts can help determine the authenticity and condition of your coin, which will give you a better idea of its market value. So, there you have it. The 1988 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny has the potential to be worth a significant amount of money, especially if you have an era coin or one that's in excellent condition. While most 1988 pennies are worth only 1 cent, certain rarities could see a market value of thousands, or even millions, of dollars. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just someone looking for hidden treasures in your spare change, this coin is definitely one to keep an eye out for. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss out on more valuable coin discoveries. Drop a comment below if you've ever come across a rare penny, and share your experiences with us. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. 1985 D Lincoln penny. You might think, isn't the 1985 D just a regular penny? Well, think again, because this coin is worth a whole lot more than its face value. Let's get into it. Before we dive deep into the specifics, let's talk about why the 1985 D Lincoln penny is so special. At first glance, it looks just like any other penny from the mid-80s. But there's a rare and valuable anomaly within this series that can make it worth thousands, or even millions of dollars. And no, it's not some standard minting error. It's something far rarer, a true coin collector's dream. Now, for most of us, the 1985 D penny might seem like a penny you could easily find in your change jar. But for the seasoned coin collector, the 1985 D has become a hot commodity for one major reason. There are a few rare, key details that can send its value skyrocketing. So, what makes this penny so valuable? Let's start with the basics. The 1985 D penny was struck at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D mint mark. It features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, which is standard for pennies minted from 1959 to 2008. However, when you think about its market value, this penny's worth depends on a few important factors, starting with the overall condition of the coin. The highest value for any coin is often linked to its condition. A worn, heavily circulated 1985 D penny isn't going to bring in much. But if you're lucky enough to have an uncirculated specimen, or one with a unique characteristic, like a minting error, that's where the magic happens. Now, here's where things get really interesting. There's a rare variety of the 1985 D penny that collectors are desperate to find, the 1985 D double die obverse, or DDR. What's a double die obverse, you ask? It's a minting error where the design is struck twice, resulting in doubled images on the coin. For the 1985 D penny, the doubling is most noticeable on the word Liberty, and In God We Trust on the obverse. The effect can range from subtle to dramatic, but in high-grade examples, the doubled details are so clear they practically jump off the coin. So, what's this coin worth? Well, if you've got a regular 1985 D penny in good condition, it might only be worth a few cents over its face value. But if you have the elusive 1985D double die averse, we're talking about a whole different ball game. In recent years, the value of the 1985D double die has been on the rise. A coin in mint state, such as one graded MS67 or higher, can fetch tens of thousands of dollars. In fact, a particularly well-preserved 1985D double die has sold for more than $300,000 at auction. You spot a 1985D double die penny? Here's what you'll need to look for: the word Liberty, and the date 1985 should show signs of doubling. The letters may appear more than once, creating a blurry, ghost-like image behind them. The phrase "In God We Trust" is another area where doubling can be very obvious. If you catch this error in the right light, the doubled letters will seem to shift slightly. Use a magnifying glass or a loupe to inspect the coin closely. You'll need a sharp eye to catch this subtle yet valuable defect. So, why is the 1985D double die penny so valuable? There are a few reasons. First, the error is relatively rare compared to other coin varieties. Second, the rarity and unique appeal of the double design make it highly sought after by collectors. And third, it's a part of a specific group of mint errors that have been gaining popularity in the numismatic world. When these factors combine, it creates the perfect storm for a coin worth millions. Not only does this make the 1985D double die penny a valuable find, but it's also a great investment. The value of these rarities has been climbing in recent years, and with more collectors entering the market, the price could continue to rise. So, if you've got a 1985D penny lying around, it might just be worth a second look. A small investment in research and a magnifying glass could turn that seemingly ordinary coin into a life-changing fortune. If you think you've found a 1985D double die penny or any other rare coin, it's best to get it professionally graded to determine its true value. And remember, the condition of the coin can make all the difference. 1996 The Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny coin. You might be wondering, what makes this penny so special? Well, despite being a modern coin, this particular penny can fetch a price that might surprise you. From its unique features to its potential worth in the market, let's break down everything you need to know about this coin and why it could be worth a small fortune. The 1996 penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial series, which was produced by the U.S. Mint from 1959 until 2008. On the obverse of the coin, we see the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse shows the iconic Lincoln Memorial, which is synonymous with these coins. The D mint mark indicates that this penny was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the two locations responsible for producing pennies during this period, the other being the Philadelphia Mint. These coins were struck in copper-plated zinc and have a face value of just 1 cent now. You might be thinking, it's just another penny, right? But let's get into the specifics of why this particular penny could be worth a lot more than its face value. To begin, the 1996 Lincoln penny, like many other coins, can be found in a variety of conditions. As you know, coin value is heavily dependent on its condition, rarity, and any unique features it might have. The most common type of 1996 penny is the standard circulation coin. These coins were made in large quantities and are fairly easy to find in your change or in your coin jar. But here's where things get interesting. Certain 1996 pennies have been discovered with unique characteristics or rare minting errors that make them highly sought after by collectors. One of the most intriguing things about the 1996 penny is the potential for minting errors. Over the years, there have been reports of 1996 pennies that have been struck with either double die errors, where the design appears to be doubled, or with off-center strikes, where the coin is not properly aligned during production. These error coins are significantly rarer than the standard issue, and as with all error coins, their value can skyrocket depending on the severity and uniqueness of the mistake. For example, a 1996 penny with a double die error or off-center strike could potentially be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on its condition and the type of error. Collectors and error coin enthusiasts are always on the lookout for coins like these, which can make them incredibly valuable in the right market. The condition of the coin is another key factor that plays into its value. Coins are graded based on their appearance and the amount of wear they've experienced. The most common grading system for coins is the Sheldon scale, which goes from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin. A 1990 penny in excellent condition, such as one graded MS65 or higher, could be worth significantly more than one that has been heavily circulated and shows signs of wear. Higher grade examples, especially those that show little to no wear, are often highly prized in the collector community and could command a premium price at auction. So, what's the current market value of a 1990 penny? As of now, the typical 1990 penny in circulated condition is worth only its face value of 1 cent. However, once you move into higher grades or discover a rare error, the value can climb quickly. A well-preserved 1990 penny without any errors but in excellent condition can range anywhere from 50 cents to a few dollars, depending on its grade. On the other hand, error coins with double die or off-center strikes can see their values increase dramatically, often ranging from $50 to $500 or more, depending on the rarity of the error and the condition of the coin. In some rare cases, if a 1990 penny has a particularly significant error or has been graded at a very high level, it could even reach thousands of dollars in the right market. While these kinds of finds are extremely rare, they do exist, and collectors who specialize in error coins are always on the lookout for them. Now, let's get to the part that has many collectors buzzing. Could the 1990 penny ever be worth millions of dollars? While it's not likely that a typical 1990 penny will ever fetch such a high price, it's important to note that certain error coins or coins with a rare history do sometimes achieve astronomical values at auction. For instance, rare error coins with double dies or significant misprints have, in some cases, fetched hundreds of thousands of dollars at public auctions, particularly when they're in pristine condition. In the case of the 1990 penny, the value would need to be extraordinary, something truly unique, or a historical piece with a proven track record of rarity. While this is a rare possibility, it's certainly not impossible in the world of rare coin collecting. If you're interested in finding a rare 1990 penny or any other potentially valuable coin, the best advice is to be on the lookout for coins in good condition. Pay close attention to any coins that seem unusual, such as those with visible errors or anomalies in the design. Make sure to check the coin's grade and if it has been professionally authenticated by a reputable grading service. Also, keep in mind that it's crucial to do your research. Many online resources and coin dealers can help you identify potential rare coins. Auctions and coin shows are excellent places to find not only rare 1990 pennies but also a wealth of other valuable coins. So there you have it, the 1990 Abraham Lincoln 1 cent penny. While it might be easy to overlook this coin as just another penny, it's important to remember that there's always potential for a rare find. Whether it's an error coin, a high-grade specimen, or even a historical piece, the 1990 penny could very well end up being worth more than you ever expected. 2020 The Abraham Lincoln 1 cent penny coin, a coin that's becoming increasingly sought after by collectors, and in some cases, can be worth an incredible amount of money. You might be thinking, it's just a penny, how valuable could it be? Well, you might be surprised. So stay tuned as we explore the current market value of this coin, what makes it special, and how it could potentially be worth millions. Let's get into it. First things first, let's talk about the basics. The 2020 Lincoln 1 cent penny coin was minted at the Denver Mint and features the classic design of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, front, and the famous Union shield on the reverse, back. The D mint mark indicates that it was struck at the Denver Mint, which is one of the 2 locations where pennies are minted in the United States. The 2020 penny is part of the Lincoln cent series, which has been in circulation since 1909. The coin has the familiar copper-plated zinc composition, which is worth 1 cent in face value. However, it's what makes this penny rare or unique that we'll be exploring in detail. Now, let's discuss why the 2020 D penny is starting to gain so much attention in the numismatic world. Unique minting conditions. While the 2020 D Lincoln penny might seem like a regular coin to most people, it was minted during a unique period. The pandemic and economic disruptions during this time led to a limited number of these coins being produced in comparison to previous years. This rarity has made the 2020D penny increasingly valuable to collectors. The condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its market value. Pennies that are in near mint or mint condition, especially those with sharp details and little to no wear, are much more valuable. These coins are often referred to as uncirculated or proof coins. If you have a 2020D penny in excellent condition, you might just have a valuable collectible on your hands. Another factor that could elevate the value of the 2020D penny is the possibility of error coins. Error coins are typically the result of mistakes during the minting process and can make a coin highly desirable. For example, if the mint mark on a 2020D penny was misplaced or if there's some sort of misprint, it can cause that particular penny to be worth much more than its face value. So, what's the current market value of the 2020D Lincoln penny? Here's where things get interesting. At face value, the 2020D penny is worth just 1 cent. But in the world of coin collecting, the market value of these pennies can vary drastically based on their condition, rarity, and any potential errors. If you're holding a 2020D penny that's in normal circulation or decent condition, you're likely looking at a coin worth a few cents, maybe up to $1 or $2. Uncirculated or high-grade coins. If your 2020D penny is in near perfect, uncirculated condition, its value can increase significantly. Depending on the grade, these coins could sell for anywhere from $5 to $10, or even more in some cases. Here's where things get really exciting. Error coins, especially those that are incredibly rare, can skyrocket in value. Some of these 2020D pennies with errors have been known to sell for hundreds of dollars, and in extreme cases, certain varieties can even be worth thousands. Now, you might be wondering how a 2020D penny could potentially be worth millions of dollars. Well, here's the deal. The coin itself may not reach millions just yet, but let's break it down. Rarity and future demand. As time goes on, the number of 2020D pennies that are in excellent condition or have unique characteristics will dwindle. Coin collectors know that rare, high-quality specimens become more valuable as they become harder to find. If you happen to have one of these pennies, and if they become even rarer over the years, it's possible that the value could soar, eventually reaching millions in the future. Coin collectors are always on the lookout for special varieties. For example, if the 2020D penny happens to have some unique feature, like a unique minting flaw or a limited edition run, it could significantly increase its value. Some of these rare finds have been known to be sold for millions in the past. The 2020D penny was struck during a very historic time. The global pandemic and economic challenges that shaped the year 2020 make these pennies potentially very significant to future collectors who want to own a piece of history. A penny from such a time could be seen as a rare historical artifact, driving up its value over time. So, how can you find a valuable 2020D penny? Here are some tips. Check your pocket change. The first step is to start looking through your own pocket change. Many valuable coins can be found in circulation if you know what to look for. Look for high-quality examples. Make sure your 2020D penny is in great condition. Coins with minimal wear and clear details will always fetch a higher price than heavily worn ones. Look for error coins. Keep an eye out for any potential error coins. Look for things like double strikes, off-center designs, or misplaced mint marks, as these can dramatically increase a coin's value. Get your coins appraised. If you think you have a valuable 2020D penny, consider getting it appraised by a professional numismatist. They can help identify if your coin is truly rare or worth more than you think. So there you have it. The 2020D Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny coin may seem like a small, ordinary penny at first glance, but in the right conditions, with the right rarity, it could be worth much more than you expect. Whether it's in pristine condition or has a unique error, this coin could one day be worth millions of dollars, depending on how the market and collectors view it in the future. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new about coin collecting, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more coin-related content, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Leave a comment down below if you have any 2020D pennies or other rare coins, and let's talk about their potential value.